And moving to our weather here in the Southern Tier, taking a look outside at Johnson City. Howard, I do love that it's green out there, but I wish we do had those blue skies.
Yeah, we'll get in due time. We'll get back to some sunshine and blue skies. But yeah, it was a gray day here today, and you know, it's amazing how everything has just really opened up. Though the trees and the bushes and everything, they needed the rain to help that process along, I'm sure. But it's our time now to maybe get some sunshine here for the weekend. Let's take a look at the water vapor imagery. Why am I showing you this? Well, yesterday we were watching a trough in the Great Lakes, and now that trough has turned into this. You see it here. It's right through West Virginia, Virginia, down to Maryland and Pennsylvania, and it's going to be moving off to the east into the overnight. But that surface low is essentially near New York City, and we're getting precipitation as a result of it. There's a look at the national picture. Again, a lot of rain here in the Northeast, heavy rain in the Gulf Coast, and this just lone cold front sitting out in the upper Midwest and Western Great Lakes. The latest surface map shows that low near New York City. It continues to pump moisture into our area. Heaviest of which, thankfully, right now is located, 200 miles away from us, 300 miles away from us over in east southern New England. But things are going to be staying wet. There's no two ways about it here this evening. Live radar, there's some pockets of steady to even, briefly heavy rainfall into the Catskills as well. But notice there's been a little bit of a break in the activity through parts of Tioga County and northern Pennsylvania. This whole precipitation shield is eventually going to kind of stop and then move east. So our area is going to be a pivot point essentially for this rain. That's why it's going to last into the early overnight hours, and we're not done yet. Flood watch is in effect for the counties shaded in green till tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now at 5:30, yeah, we're in the 40s. We haven't moved much, and we're not going to tonight. Rain continues here this evening. Could still be heavy at times, but there's a small but non-zero flash flood risk because of the very wet conditions. We're going to be looking at the weekend shaping up very nicely. But next week might even start to feel a little bit humid. Some latest rainfall reports from my Facebook page. Sydney 0.7, Harpersville 1.02. That same person that reported Harpersville has measured 6 3/4 inches of rain over the last week. That is a lot of rain. So, Exhibit A as to why it's so wet. Hamden 106, Afton 0.6, and Laraysville just shy of a ½ inch of rain. So rainfall totals thankfully have been manageable. How much or how high are the rivers likely to get? I think the maximum flood stage is going to be low end minor. Looking at the river forecasts, that's where we're at in some spots. Tonight, there's that pivoting process. You see it overnight tonight into about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. By daybreak, the precipitation begins to wind down. We get some clearing coming in from the west. By the afternoon, we're looking at bright sunshine. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy to clear, and then we're looking at more sunshine during the day on Saturday. So really nice, aside from the clouds in the morning, looks like a decent weekend ahead here. There's that 7-day forecast showing 60s here next couple of days, maybe a touch cooler on Sunday, but by the time we get into next week, we're going to warm up there. We'll be in the upper 60s. I think by mid to late next week, we could be in the mid to upper 70s, but there could be, a little bit of mugginess and perhaps a few showers or storms around.
I'll take the warmer weather.
Yeah, definitely looks like a nice start. Just a gloomy day today, no doubt about that. It's a good thing it wasn't a Monday.
Yeah.
We're
always closing out the week on a Friday, you know. At least the weekend, going off of that, is a whole lot sunnier.
It will definitely be a much different weekend. I think last week we had some rain. We had rain here. I wasn't here in town last weekend, but we had that real heavy rain last Saturday. Not so this week.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Howard.